Hi guys, this is David, and here we are at Symbiosis International University Dubai, and I'm joined with.
Professor Anita Patankar. I'm the executive director at the first international campus of SIU in Dubai.
That's
Happy to
amazing.
be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Are you ready for the questions?
Absolutely raring to go.
All right. So, Dr. Anita, can you give us an overview of Symbiosis and what makes it unique compared to different other universities?
So, to cut a very long story really short, 1971, a botany professor with a huge sense of compassion for African Asian students studying in Pune.
Okay.
So try and imagine 1971, we're talking a little bit of racial discrimination, no inclusion, diversity, equity that we talk about, students far away from home, struggling to find a safe space for themselves. Symbiosis has grown from this seed. So the only educational institution in India to have been established for foreign students that then opened up their doors to Indian students. Symbiosis, which began by the founder, and you can pan to his picture that's right here, Professor Dr. S.P. Musundar, uh, has continued very strongly with that sense of community, with the sense of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, a safe home away from home for people. And we come to Dubai with that very unique positioning. And I think because of that sense of multicultural inclusion at our core, it flows through everything that we do. So whether it's the programs that we do that try to bring people together, that try to bring disciplines together, that try to bring different schools of thought together, or whether it is in our policies that bring in staff, community, sense, all of this together, I think we are very unique. Uh, Also, if I could end with this point, that Symbiosis is known for its employer reputation with 31 on the QS rankings.
Okay.
That sense of educational institutions, industry, community, and all the other stakeholders, including parents, being a very strong, closely knit family. And that is at the core of everything that we do.
Understood. Thank you so much for that. That's a great way to start this interview as well. So,
Thank you.
talking about family inclusivity and a great story you shared. So, for Symbiosis, what are some of the more popular programs that students look for or this university promotes, and how do they help with their future careers for the students?
So, in India, Symbiosis is known for management, law, and now engineering, medical,
Mm.
health sciences, etc. Today, the MBA program at SIU Dubai is, and I have no surprises there, is the most popular program. So we have now 4 batches, morning, evening. We have a BBA program that's again very popular. Our computer applications and media and communication programs are gaining on the MBA and the BBA program. We're looking at introducing a BCom, which
Okay.
would be offered with an ACCA. Psychology is our strength back at home, and that is something that we will launch as well. Internationalization is in our DNA. Being set up for foreign students. So we have very strong alliances and partnerships with like-minded foreign universities, and therefore we're happy that we have also launched dual degree programs. So we have one with Aston University in UK. We'll have a few more with other close partners. We are looking at a B.Ed program. And in Dubai, that's really special, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
the school sector is so important, and the value of teachers,
Of course.
especially at the school, is something that we all recognize and value. So I think the programs that I can see having great traction here and are these. Over time, of course, we will bring in, medical, health,
Of
allied
course.
health, engineering. These are things that definitely we would want to bring in. But I think we see ourselves as being very responsive to this region. We have great respect for the UAE. We have great respect for this wonderful, inspiring city, of Dubai. And every day I'm amazed by something or the other that I see or I learn or I experience. And I think we look at our programs as fitting into the vision that this region has. So we look at the vision of 2030, we look at the vision of 2050,
Yeah.
and therefore sustainability, entrepreneurship, innovation, research. These are the things that we are looking at, and we will bring in programs that fit into the needs of this region, but also the regions, the needs of the world,
Of
because
course.
our students may choose to work here, but may also choose to go around the world.
No, I think that is actually so interesting to see and hear, having a university that promotes itself to the needs of the region and the
Yes.
people, because whatever is happening over here, students look for demand, and
Yeah.
UAE is a very happening place. So I think that's very, very inspiring to hear. And what about the students? Like, how would Symbiosis help them with their careers moving forward through internships? What is the scene like?
Today's students, they're a bunch of very, very, um, I think they're hungry. Today's youth is definitely hungry. They're tech savvy, far more savvy than, for example, I am. You learn everything from them. I think what they want and what we've been able to build into our program are a couple of things. So number one, they want programs and they want learning experiences that are industry focused,
Yeah.
that are very experiential, that are hands on, that are project based. They want the opportunity to explore what very often people call, what's your sweet spot? What is it that you're good at? And you don't want to discover that when you're 40 years
Hmm.
old. You want to discover that right now. So for many, many students, the opportunity to work, and Dubai offers that, the opportunity to do internships and multiple internships is something that we built into the program. Placements, jobs is actually what Symbiosis is known for. There's a reason why we're 31 on the QS rankings in terms of employer reputation. So whether it is community engagement, whether it is working with organizations like the Dubai Future Foundation or the IEEE, working with them so that students learn hands-on and learn to push the boundaries of what they are learning in class. So we have built into the program and embedded in internships, placements, experiential learning, a lot of internships even on the campus, a lot of working in a very focused fashion with faculty. And we've got an amazing set of faculty, who are able to bring in the best of Dubai
Yes.
into the classroom, and then taking the students outside the classroom and giving them as many experiences as possible.
That is so important in 2025, really, because
Yeah,
employers look for experience, and having a university that supports you is
yeah,
so critical
yeah.
to move forward with that. The next question I have is, are there any student success stories you want to share? Any one of those particular current or alumni, your pick?
Don't even get me started on alumni, क्योंकि हमारे alumni इतने हैं. One of the reasons I think why it was so comfortable for us to come to Dubai, besides the fact that both the ministries and both the governments were supporting us, is because Symbiosis has more than
'Kay.
thousand alum right here,
Wow.
and all of them doing brilliantly across the sectors. So, in terms of alumni success stories, we'd need a couple of hours to talk about that. But let me focus on what we've been able to manage within this very first year. Every single day, I get a WhatsApp message that talks about a student who's done brilliantly, either in a poetry writing competition, an art competition, a dance competition, a sports competition, or a business quiz, a case study competition, someone who's got a job um, in an organization that probably didn't pick up undergrad or
Hmm.
first year MBA students, the opportunity to volunteer. And I think that is something that we really push.
All right.
I'm really proud of our faculty for being hungry while looking for learning opportunities. And therefore we nudge our students into volunteering. So whether it's a conference, whether it's a fair, whether it's going and working with school students, students are doing a lot of projects. Students are mentoring
Okay.
school children, for example, in Abu Dhabi on coding and on using tech. And they're doing that through our Department of Computer Applications. So students are doing, I think, brilliant work. And I think it's brilliant also because they're just pushing themselves. And I think that's the greatest joy for anybody, right? Is that
Yeah.
when students suddenly look at you and say that, that aha moment
Yes.
where I didn't know I could do this, or I didn't know I was so good at this. We do so many workshops for school children, and so many of our students are involved as well. We have students who talk constantly with parents, kind of evangelizing the whole idea of an experiential multidisciplinary education that we offer.
Mm.
So I think every student has something or the other that they're doing within the campus or outside with corporates, with ministry projects. Um, I'm always in awe of what they manage to achieve and how they tend to do it so easily. I don't think I was that smart, when I was their age, uh, but huge, huge success stories.
That was such an inspiring. I think our audience, when they watch this, would be so inspired to hear so many different elements of a student
Yes,
success.
yes, yes.
Like you mentioned, competitions and dance, poetry, even mentorship.
Yeah,
That is something students love doing in 2025.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
mentor myself
yeah,
at a speaking club, and that's something I learned through university
yeah,
going on.
yeah.
And having such a platform is so inspiring.
Mhm.
So I think when we're wrapping up this interview, it's exam season. Students are pressured by their exams, and the idea of finding the right university is so important. What advice would you have for them? And what would you say about joining Symbiosis?
Let me answer the first part. I hate hearing about student pressure and stress during exams.
Okay.
Personally, I'm a great believer that you have to enjoy your studies.
All right.
You have to enjoy giving exams. And I think it's up to the teachers and up to the institute to be able to create a culture where exams and assessments become a part of the joy of learning. Hopefully, that is what we are doing here as well. Because we don't want students to get stressed and pressured. And we've seen too much of that happening the world around. I also think students are slowly understanding that GPA doesn't translate into success in life.
That's right.
That is the skills that you learn. It's the abilities that you gather. It's the people skills, the ability to build relationships and resolve conflict and problem solve and come up with wacky ideas that people laugh at, but then maybe the next day say, this is not as crazy as it sounded
Right.
yesterday, and it is probably going to work. So I think these are the things that we're trying to build into our institution. I think when it comes to choosing, I love telling students, choose any university as long as it fulfills a few things. Number one, you should walk into that university and feel a cultural fit in terms of vision of the philosophy behind the education that's being offered. If you're looking for a transactional space, go for a transactional space. But if you're looking for especially university, right, especially undergrad, if you're looking for a place that's going to allow you to learn who you are, develop your skills, and explore potential and then help you narrow and work towards that, look for that. So number one, look for a cultural fit between what you want idealistically. A little bit of romance is good, the romantic idea of education. Second is, I think you have to look for institutions or universities that believe in a certain amount of democracy in the classroom, the ability to be encouraged to be curious and to inquire and to brainstorm, because that is ultimately what community needs, and that's what employers want. Employers don't want yes sayers.
Yes.
They want people who can brainstorm and come up with great ideas. That is what they want. And the third thing I think is, look for programs that make sense to you, not just in the immediate future, but long term. Because we live in a world that is changing so rapidly that, honestly speaking, you wouldn't be wrong if you said this education could be obsolete in 5 years. So, does the program build transferable skills? I may have prepared for a particular sector, but 7 years down the line, can I use what I learned over there in another sector? Can I go into another geography and use that? Can my present sector be thrown out completely? And that is what is happening with so many sectors. So I think those are the three things. I honestly believe Symbiosis ticks all the boxes. So I hope they choose us. We have a long standing legacy, but I'm just happy when students get into a good university that allows them to grow, and that they love learning. Happy kids, happy students means a happy me, and everybody's happy. So, and that happens when they love learning, when something in class makes sense to them, when they're engaged, you know they're not bored, not on their devices. So choose a university that has a great culture, a great belief in the philosophy of learning, offers programs that have transferable skills. uh, Look for that. Look at Symbiosis International University Dubai.
So that actually brought answered a lot of questions for a lot of students, thinking it brought a new perspective for students. Because what is their obvious thing? I have to score a 97%, 98%, 99, or some students get 100% also.
Yeah,
Get into the top-notch university in the world, and that my career
yeah,
is set.
yeah, yeah.
That is it. Whatever I choose. But thank you so much for that lovely, lovely perspective. And here we are at the end of our interview. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did.
I loved it. I love talking to young people all the time. But thank you so much for visiting us at SIU Dubai and for having this chat with me. I've enjoyed the opportunity.
Thank you so much, and hope the audience enjoyed it as well. See you guys in the next episode.